Hey everyone, my name's Louis, and today we're going to be making recipes from the Momofuku Cookbook. Now, David Chang is somewhat of a hero of mine. I even brought a menu back from one of his restaurants when I went to New York a year ago. So today, we're going to be making 3 recipes. 2 are still on his menu, well, from a year ago, that is. They are the pork belly bao buns, they are the ginger scallion noodles, and the Momofuku shortcakes. Let's get started, shall we? So first, I think we're going to start off with the bao buns. This dish will serve 3 to 4 people. First, you want to grab your meat. No, that sounds wrong. Take your pork belly, about 500 grams worth, give it a quick slap. If there is skin, cut it off with a sharp knife. Then get a mixture of 15 grams of sugar to 10 grams of salt. Vigorously rub all over the pork until it's nice and covered. Place in the fridge for at least 6 hours. I did this the day before, but make sure it doesn't sit for more than 24 hours. Then get rid of the excess liquid from the pork and put into a roasting tin. Dude, stop slapping the meat. Turn the oven up to 230 degrees. Place the pork in the oven for 30 minutes until the top starts to brown. Once that's done, put the temperature down to 130 degrees and cook for another 30 minutes until cooked. Take out of the oven and let it cool. Place in the fridge for it to firm up so you can cut up into slices. Now, I cannot stress this enough. Buy pre-made bao buns. They're only £2. It will save you so much time and a hassle. I had a nightmare trying to make them yesterday without a bamboo steamer. If you do have a bamboo steamer, then it's a lot easier. But it even says in the cookbook to buy pre-made ones because it will just save you so much time and hassle. So for the rest of the filling, finely slice up some spring onion, saving the tops to make some stock later today. We'll make some quick pickled cucumbers by grabbing a tablespoon of salt and sugar and sprinkle over the sliced cucumber. Let sit for 10 minutes. Once the pork's been chilling for at least an hour in the fridge, slice it up into thick pieces and start frying it off in a pan. Fry for a couple minutes on each side until they get a nice sear on them. Put your hoisin sauce into a bowl, and you can use either the back of a spoon or a brush to coat the buns with, and then start getting creative. Once you fill the buns, they're good to eat. So let's try them. Wow. You get the sweetness from the hoisin sauce, the saltiness from the cucumber, and the crunch from the spring onion. It's just so well balanced. I'm gonna eat the rest off camera, alright? So for the spring onion noodles, it's really simple. Finely chop a bunch of spring onion, go over them a couple times, then grate about 25 grams of ginger into a bowl. Then add 2 tablespoons of oil, a teaspoon of soy sauce, and a teaspoon of rice vinegar, and a pinch of salt. Let sit for 15 minutes. Grab your noodles and thoroughly mix. Serve with other vegetables you have, this just complements it nicely. And now for the piece de la resistance. A few hours before you want the dessert, grab some strawberries as much as you want to serve with the dessert and dust over a couple of tablespoons of caster sugar over them so it brings out the juices which we will keep to pour over. Grab 1 egg, put it into a small measuring jug. Get rid of the other half or keep it for a later use. Mix it together and then add enough double cream to make 125 milliliters. Then place it into the fridge. Then in a mixing bowl, add 210 grams of flour, 100 grams of caster sugar, 75 grams of light brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder into a bowl. Mix with the paddle attachment, which I'm told is the stirring attachment, then add 100 grams of butter. And once the mixture looks lumpy and dry, stream in the cream and egg mixture as slowly as possible. Don't overwork the batter, only mix until it's just combined. Then let it rest for 10 minutes in a mixing bowl. Now roll them into small balls with a spoon or your hands. Make sure to flour your hands, and make sure that the balls are no bigger than ping pong balls. Mine were bigger and it ended up spreading far too much. Place them on a baking sheet and put them in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes, but this can be left overnight. Then preheat the oven to 180 degrees and coat them in icing sugar, as I've done here. Place onto 2 separate trays so they have enough space to expand. Bake for 11 minutes. I ended up doing around 15 minutes, as it says it's better to be overcooked than undercooked. Let it cool, and then let's make our whipped cream. In a big jug, grab 175 milliliters of double cream, 65 milliliters of sour cream, 15 grams of icing sugar, and a pinch of salt. You can do this by hand and whisk until thick and peaks form. This shouldn't take more than 10 minutes to do. Now you're ready to plate. Now check it, look at this. Huh? Itadakimasu. I'd say that this cookbook isn't aimed towards students, but I thoroughly enjoyed cooking some recipes from this book. The bao buns ended up being about 95p each, the noodles ended up being about £1.10 per person, and the desserts costs about £2.50 to make per portion. So a 3-course meal essentially that ends up being less than £5, and you really can't go wrong with that. The only qualm I'd have is that the portion sizes in this cookbook are a bit too large for 2 to 3 people. If you want to learn about Asian cooking and want to know more about David Chang and how his story started, this is the perfect book for it, because it not only talks about recipes, it talks about how he first started and how he eventually grew into a Michelin-starred chef. So it's a really great story if you're interested. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, please hit the subscribe button. If you have any other cookbooks that I should review, then please drop a comment down below as to which one I should do, and I'll see you soon. 見てこれ何